Welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in because we're looking at a huge shift happening in education right now. Picture walking through a modern college campus today. Honestly, it probably doesn't look that different from a few years ago, right? You've still got students hunched over their laptops in the library or hanging out on the quad. But if you peeked a little closer at their screens, you'd see something totally new. Students are secretly, and sometimes, well, not so secretly, using AI tools like ChatGPT to instantly analyze dense texts, break down mind-boggling concepts, and literally draft whole essays in mere seconds. It's a complete game changer for how we learn. And today, we're unpacking the profound and honestly pretty unequal impact this is having.
Section 1. The New Study Buddy. Okay, let's dive into this. That classic solitary homework grind, just you, a heavy textbook, and a blank page, is rapidly becoming history. What used to be a strictly solo endeavor is now routinely shared with artificial intelligence. AI has basically become the ultimate 24/7 study partner for an entire generation. And just to put the massive scale of this into perspective, get ready for this staggering statistic. According to a study highlighted by Taiwan Plus News, 7 out of 10 ninth graders in Taiwan are already using AI. Seriously, 7 out of 10. And over at local universities, students are flat out saying this tech has just become a fully integrated part of their daily learning routine. It's everywhere. But here's the kicker. These students aren't entirely naive about their new study buddy. Take Casper, a student from National Taipei University. He and many others know perfectly well that AI is flawed. They know it hallucinates and just gets things wrong sometimes. Actually, Casper consciously reminds himself to not rely on it completely, even though he uses it almost every single day. So you've got this fascinating push and pull, right? They're using the tech constantly, but trying really hard to keep a healthy skepticism about whatever answers it spits out.
Section 2. The authorship gray area. Because students are tapping into this daily, educators are facing a really massive dilemma. I mean, teachers already know students are using AI. The real question now is, are students still building those foundational critical thinking skills, or are they just letting the machine do all the mental heavy lifting? To really wrap our heads around this, one professor gave this absolutely brilliant analogy. Think about writing an essay. It's totally normal to bounce ideas off your family, right? So say you talk to your mom. She gives you a fantastic idea, and you write that idea into your assignment. Is it your essay, or is it your mom's?
Which brings us to this question. If you take one of these ideas and develop them into an essay, is that really your essay, or is it the AI essay? This just perfectly nails the philosophical gray area we're stuck in right now. Where exactly does the learning tool stop and the actual human author begin? Let me tell you, drawing that line is getting harder every single day. And this brilliantly illustrates the real danger lurking here. Students are skipping the necessary struggle of learning. Traditionally, education is all about step-by-step problem solving. You literally need that friction to grow your brain. But with AI, the temptation to bypass all that and jump straight to a neatly packaged, synthesized conclusion in 2 seconds is huge. It's just so incredibly easy to copy and paste those generated thoughts. What happens when you take that shortcut? You get what educators call the illusion of competence. Teachers are seeing students hand in these highly structured, beautifully organized arguments. But when you actually press the student on the topic, those polished results don't reflect any real understanding of the content. The AI makes them look like absolute experts on paper, but the internal comprehension just isn't there. Honestly, it's a trap any of us could fall into. Section 3. The inequality gap. This brings us to a major complication because professors are finding out that AI does not affect every student equally. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is how sharply it contrasts the ways students interact with the tech. You might assume AI is this great universal equalizer, right? A magic wand for everybody. But stronger students are using AI actively. They challenge what it tells them, and they use it to expand their own thinking. Weaker students, though, they tend to use it passively. They're relying on it to just summarize texts or give them straight answers. For one group, it's a mind expander, but for the other, it's a total substitute for learning. To give you an idea of how far those stronger students are taking this, one professor shared this amazing anecdote. They actually admitted they were learning from their better students on how to use AI. One student even showed the professor how you can actively push the technology to combine standard textual learning with visual aids to really deepen comprehension. So they aren't just looking for an easy out, they're actively enhancing the way their brains process information. But for the weaker students who use it as a crutch, educators are seriously sounding the alarm. If we just let this run wild without equal access and, more importantly, proper guidance on how to use it effectively,
AI is on track to dramatically deepen classroom inequalities. We're looking at a massive, widening gap between the students who know how to leverage this tech to grow and those who are literally letting their critical thinking muscles atrophy. Section 4. Rethinking higher education. So how on earth do we fix this? Well, the answer definitely isn't banning AI. That's impossible and, frankly, counterproductive. We have to fundamentally rethink how we approach education altogether.
So the crucial point is that educators now have a completely new responsibility on their plates. They have to provide specific, compelling reasons for students to actually want to do the hard work themselves. We're talking about explicitly teaching why you shouldn't take the easy shortcut. They have to hammer home why you absolutely must verify every single piece of information the AI spits out. And above all, they need to show students how to interpret data themselves, instead of just blindly trusting a machine to do the thinking. Now, actually implementing this is tricky, and right now, the approach is pretty fragmented. For example, Taiwan's education ministry has already stepped up with AI guidelines for K-12 students. But universities? That's a different story. They're largely autonomous, so they're basically left to figure out their own rules, policies, and curriculum changes entirely on the fly as they adapt to this wild new reality. As AI cements itself as a permanent fixture in everyday learning, it really forces us to ask a much deeper question. If the historical purpose of a university was to impart knowledge, what happens now when AI makes knowledge infinitely abundant and instantly accessible? How do we cultivate the uniquely human capabilities that are still valuable? That right there is the challenge of our time, rethinking the very purpose of higher education in an automated world. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it gave you a whole new perspective on the future of learning.